Mr. Chairman, this amendment would remedy a problem that is being largely ignored throughout the society and is largely being ignored in connection with this legislation. This is a problem of huge investments by pension funds, investment funds, mutual funds, and state and local governments across the country in the high-risk derivative securities. These investments are often made without purchasers being informed by their brokers of the true nature or the great risk of these investments, or in some cases without the brokers even informing the purchaser that they are making these investments at all. The amendment would exempt derivative securities from the bill. Those are the securities which caused the collapse of the investment pool run by Orange County. Americans are only beginning to understand the risks associated with these things, which are little better than financial time bombs. Only because of investments in derivatives, which caused one of the wealthiest communities in the country, Orange County, California, to go belly up in a matter of months and now be in bankruptcy, has the public begun to focus on the huge risks associated with these kinds of investments. In Orange County, the derivative losses have forced cutbacks in vital government services, such as health care, education, and even road maintenance. In some cases, county employees have been laid off completely or else have had their hours of pay reduced. Mr. Speaker, Orange County is not alone, as the 60 Minutes expose on Sunday night dramatically highlighted. A particularly chilling moment in that piece toward the end was when 60 Minutes asked their experts whether there may be other orange counties out there. And he responded with this warning: it's not a question of whether there are others out there. There are. And many other municipalities are out there sitting on huge derivative time bombs without any of them even knowing that they confront this great peril on behalf of themselves and their constituents. As we debate this bill in only 7 hours, literally hundreds of local municipal governments scattered all over the country are just beginning to discover the extent of their exposure to high-risk derivative securities. Many of them are seeking to avoid this disaster and to climb out of the pit after suffering colossal losses on their investments. From Auburn, Maine, to the state of Florida, from Charles County, Maryland, to Odessa College, Texas, to Aspen, Colorado, and to Orange County, state and local governments are suffering staggering losses due to incredibly complex, incomprehensible, high-risk securities whose risk can not only not be calculated, but not even understood. There's a chart here which explains and shows the communities and public institutions across the United States which have just so far reported losses from investments in speculative derivatives. Look at the list. Orange County, $1.7 billion in losses. Louisiana State Pension Fund, $50 million. Georgia Municipal Electric Authority, $49 million. City Colleges of Chicago, $46 million. Minnetonka Fund in Minnesota, over $90 million. New Hampshire State Pension Fund, $25 million. The Virginia State Retirement System, $66 million. West Virginia Investment Pool, up to $279 million. How would the members of all these states and all the others who might be afflicted with a situation explain to their constituents that they have voted to prevent their county governments and their governments from acting to recover from wrongdoers their failure to properly advise or their failure to properly reveal facts associated with the speculative and risky character of the investment? We just got overpaying $150 billion to bail out the savings and loans institutions from a financial disaster, largely caused by legislation that was rushed through this body because big business came in here pleading for relief. If you will recall, they came in saying that they had to have the ability to engage in all kinds of businesses so that they would then be able to go out and make money and get themselves out of a hole which they had rapidly been digging. Well, the same situation is here. Mr. Speaker, in a nutshell, this is deja vu all over again. I urge my colleagues to support the Markey Amendment, vote to protect the American people against derivatives, vote to allow them to engage in proper self-help, to retrieve ill-gotten gains from wrongdoers who carelessly and recklessly disregard their responsibility to
the gentleman's
investors,
time
to
has
taxpayers,
expired.
and to this country.